Hello everybody, this is Marshall JMP-1 speaking from the Netherlands, and well, I'm going to give you a little bit insights in my FM9 presets that I use all the time. And these are presets that I made all in the FM9 edit, and I'm using the same presets also in my XFX3 that I'm using live. So this is my standard preset that I use mainly for my songs, you know, that I do all the time, like that kind of stuff. And this is my rhythm sound. So it's basically so as you can see, I'm using the input 1 is just doing some gating stuff, so that noise gets cancelled. And then the first thing you see in the chain that is active is the amp. And the amp is a JMP-1 OD1. That's the JMP-1 preamp from Marshall. That's modded inside here, which I love dearly, because I had it back in the day. I had the golden faceplated Marshall preamp, and that goes to a volume pan so that I can control it with my expression pedal that I have on the floor. And that goes to an equalizer, and the equalizer actually does a little bit. As you can see, it boosts up a little bit of the low end and also a little bit of the high end, just to give a little bit more clarity out of it. I shall let you hear the difference. This is without. And engaged. So yeah, it adds a bit of flavor to it. There's another gate that just gets rid of the amp noise, to be honest, so that it's really silent that you're playing. And that goes to, in parallel, put reverb. As you can see, I'm using the studio reverb of 2 seconds. Just gives a little bit of air. That goes to an enhancer, and the enhancer just makes it stereo. So this that's an XFX effect that is named Stereoizer, and it's 100% with a 50% depth, and just makes the sound a little bit more wide. If I put it off, it's more like this. You can best hear that with a headphone on, then you can hear the difference. It just spreads the sound a little bit more to the edges, and which I like, because especially if I'm an only guitar player in a clinic or whatever, then that works really well. And that goes to my cabinets. I use the IRs from Ownhammer that I bought. As you can see, Ownhammer T75s are selected here, and that's the standard Marshall, the 9060A speakers, and I really love that sound. I really do. It's and that's basically it. Well, at the moment I'm switching over to my lead scene. You see some things changing. So the amp now changed. As you can see, this is a Brit JVM OD1 Red. For the rest, the EQ is now off, so now the amp itself handles all this. The gate and things are still engaged. Then you have the reverb. Now I'm using the Stratocumulus, which is a more bigger reverb of 8 seconds. That's really long, but it is not that loud in the mix, just 16%. And there's a delay, and the delay just at the moment is set to 600 milliseconds, but I can adjust it. I can adjust with the tap tempo. I can have a tap tempo attached here on the FM9, and I can just select the tempo of the song that I just tap along, and then the delay changes to the tempo of the song. So that's it. You can see a little bit of how the settings are. It's an ambient stereo. I kind of like that reverb, that delay a lot. And that goes also to the cabinet, but now you see I changed one speaker out. So from the 75 one I keep, and the other one is a V30. So this I mix, and that's also in my cabinet that I use live. So I have a Marshall cabinet, and there's a cross mixed these speakers in. And yeah, as you can see in the picker, these are self-bought. These are these two here. So I have a lot of things self-bought of IRs that I like a lot. So my lead scene is that. Then the clean, that's scene 1, that changes also completely. On my guitar I selected now the middle pickup, so it takes both humbuckers, but with the humbucker it sounds like this. Or on the neck pickup it sounds like this. And I can also set the guitar to single coil here with this little knob here, and then it changes also. So I can make a lot of different sounds with this, and I can also do this. So pick this up, and then you have, like here, you have an out of phase sound. So lots of possibilities only with the guitar I'm using, which is a Bowell, which is my signature guitar. So to say it like that. But I show you to the settings. So there's a compressor in the beginning. Just even out a little bit the attack. Without the compressor, it's more like this. So the compressor kind of evens it out. So that's more easy on the ears. The amp is a Jazz 120 that I really like for clean sounds. So there's effects engaged here, as you can see. There's a chorus that's just in series. That's a dimension 3. I really love these dimension choruses. So that there's a reverb in parallel, and that's also the Stratocumulus. And there's a delay, the ambient stereo again, that I use, that I can select also the tempo of the song with. That goes to the enhancer is on all the time in all my sounds, and that goes also to the cabinet, and that's a 2x12 Jazz cabinet that's in the Fractal. So this is just available in the Fractal. So that's a standard cabinet that also comes with the amp simulator. And then I have a fourth sound. That's Rhythm Soft, the name. And Rhythm Soft is nothing else than just a softer version of my rhythm channel with some delay. And this I use for the intro of and for all the verses of my song The Wet Season. So that takes a plexi amp. So as you see, the plexi 100 watt 1970 edition. Graphic EQ is also on here. To give it a little bit edge, I could set it off. But it gives in my just a little bit more edge. So that there's a reverb, again medium hall selected here, just to make it a little bit more like in hall. And there's a delay, and that just is a bit faster. That's on a 1/4 tempo, but also selectable song-wise. And that goes also to my V30 T75 standard cabinet. So that's that. So my next preset is a preset on the JM45 amp. And this I use for songs like Antishophobia. For that little song. Well, there's the Brit JM45 is jumped. That's a Marshall JM45, and then with the inputs connected. Using that as my main lead sound. So for that. So yeah, for that song Antishophobia, you hear a lot of this sound. The rhythm sound in that is actually, oh wait, let me first show you what it is. Enhancer is also here, stereoizer, just the same as in all my presets. There's a delay and there's a reverb. You see analog stereo is here, and this is set to the tempo 760 because of the tempo of the song. And the reverb is on Stratocumulus. And the cabinet is again the T75 with 330. So that's basically, you see, all in my sounds, because I like that combination. There's a rhythm sound which is more the JM45 without the jumped factor. So that's a different amp in the Fractal. So you hear it like this. I use my middle pickup for this, so that I can create phrases. For the song I Was Wrong, for instance, I use this also. So you can hear a little bit what that sound does. So it's not a high gain sound. This is more like a mellow kind of a Marshall-y, just a bluesy kind of a sound. That goes also to the enhancer, to delay, and also a reverb, the studio reverb here, and to the same cabinet selection again. There's a lead heavy for the solo in the song. That you see the amp changes to JVM Audio on Red. That's mainly the amp that I use always for the leads. that sounds to me killer. I really love that sound. Also delay reverb. I always put delay and reverb a little bit on my solos. I don't like it too clean, but I can manually set the delay off. So now it's off. Turn it back on. So yeah, that's a little bit, and that goes also to that same speaker combination again. It's just not different in that sense. And the clean sound is again the Jazz 120. That, but now to these cabinets, so to the 75 and the V30. And that sounds a bit different than in my own preset, because of the speaker combination, which is different. So yeah, that basically. Then there's a sound that I use for my song Still Bleeding, and that uses 4 different sounds. So there's the intro of the song that just starts with and then again. So that's basically a clean sound with the Jazz 120. That's always the amp that I select for my clean tone. Compressor again to even it out, and then the amp settings you see here. So less little gain than my normal. And then there's a chorus on, and there's delay and reverb. So again, the dimension 1 here, and digital stereo, and the Stratocumulus reverb. Big long reverb. I like that for Still Bleeding. So for the intro of the song, then the riff kicks in. That you hear already the big reverb, and that's indeed the Stratocumulus on 17 seconds. That's really big, huge. That's basically Still Bleeding. And the amp is again the JMP OD1, so the same settings as in my standard. In my standard amp. Then the graphic equalizer is also there, the same settings, and then the enhancer, and there's that Stratocumulus to the 75 watt speakers. So that's exactly the same rhythm tone as in my standard, only that the reverb is different. There's a little section in the song that has a delay that follows the tempo. So when I then play the rhythm, it does that. Show you the delay settings. So that's just a clean sound with a delay setting set to 375 milliseconds, and the song is exactly at 120 BPM. So 120 BPM, and then you set the delay settings to 375, and then you get that that if you play 8 notes, so this is the rhythm, and you play 2 notes a beat. So without the delay, it sounds like this. So you get, and now with the delay, is that little piece from Still Bleeding. But that, you can hear that goes through that delay that just repeats the notes in between. And yeah, I love that kind of things. Of course, this is all coming from bands like Pink Floyd, Marillion. That was a big influence on my playing on these little parts. The solo sound also has a delay that fits in the tempo. It's set to 500 milliseconds, which is exactly 120 BPM. So because of the song is in that tempo, when I play in the clinics and also live, because Hans the drummer is using a little metronome that he's playing with, so it's always in the great tempo, and that's how we can play the song always, and the delay always follows, you know, the song speed. So that's pretty cool. And for the rest, it's basically the same. It's the JVM Audio-1 Red. It is the enhancer, the gate, again, the delay, the reverb. So here I'm using a delay analog stereo, and there's the Recording Studio C as reverb, so a bit different. I just switch around sometimes, just for different atmospheres. And there's the cabinet simulation again, and that's basically my sound. So for the next song, Move That Groove, I changed a bit things around. So what I did here, so a different amp. Here I used the Brit Silver, and as you can see, here's the amp. For this intro. Sometimes I play it on the neck pickup. I think originally it was there, but mostly I'm lazy at the gig and I play just like this. It doesn't really, yeah, it sounds a bit different, but I think the original on Guitar Talk is like this. That should be it. And there's a then the lead sound. Again takes the TVM Audio-1 Red. Use that all the time for my lead. The delay is again in the rhythm of the song, 601. There's a little delay part in the clean part. So this follows also that rhythm. This piece is by itself a great picking exercise, by the way. This is all arpeggiated, so if I turn the delay off, it sounds like this. This is by itself a great arpeggio. It sounds... this is just root beat. So yeah, that just plays in the song along. And there's the space part, and the space part is pretty cool. That's that I do with the expression pedal, and it goes like this. Goes on forever. Anyway, this is The amp is just a 20, nothing special. The specialness is in the effects. There's a pitch. The pitch makes 7 and 12. So 7 up and 12 up. So 7 is perfect fifth and 12 is the octave. So that goes on top. So this is, when I turn off, I can let you hear how that sounds. I turn off this and I turn off also this. Just that you can hear the pitch shifter on its own. And the pitch shifter actually moves a bit. You can see a splice. You see the splices on here on 500 milliseconds. That's pretty cool, huh? Because that's what that does. Crystal echoes, the effect is called, and that's in the pitch shifter block. That's what I use here. Beautiful sound. That goes to a reverb. The reverb is a Stratocumulus on 20 seconds, which is really huge. And there's a delay, wandering delay, so they go from left to right and back, like this. So that's basically how I made that sound. Pretty easy, yeah? And the cabinet is again my standard combination, nothing special. So that, and then my last song that I have different is Endless. And then you have all my 4 presets that I use for my live shows. So this is Endless, and that starts with an acoustic. How did I make that? Pretty easy. The input goes directly to a cabinet, and the cabinet is the impulse response of a little acoustic simulation of a chord guitar, and it sounds pretty cool. To even it out. There's a graphic EQ that does a little bit of the, and when I put that off it sounds like this, and I just wanted a bit more clarity in there. Then there's another compressor that just does a little bit of multi-band compression, you know, like in different frequencies, and that's this is used to, when I put it off, it's a huge difference, and this just makes it. So that basically. Then it goes to the, and that goes also to some reverb and delay. I think the Stratocumulus again and the ambient stereo again that I use all the time. Just to give a bit atmosphere after it. So there's no cabinet at the end. This is just the simulator going directly to the out one, so that it really sounds like an acoustic. The cabinet comes in, the other one, and that goes off at the time that the swells come. pretty easy. Actually, the amp is just a GVM, ODM1 orange, standard. And the volume pan goes on. At the moment I'm using the expression pedal. You see? So now I'm going my foot back and forth over the pedal, and just that makes the sound go in and out. That easy. Well, there's delay. Obviously 2000 milliseconds. The song is also at 120 BPM, so 2000 is really a long delay. Sounds basically like this. Pretty cool. Anyway, there's a reverb, large hole in this case. That's on there. Cabinets again, my standard thing is, but this is just, you know, the delay, and together with the expression pedal makes that it just goes like that, and the long delay. So I'm not doing anything with the knob, I'm just doing it with my foot down here on the expression pedal, that I use the volume like up and down, up and down. And when the solo section comes, different delay. So this sounds more, now it takes the upper delay, you see. That's a different one. That's analog stereo on 1000, so that's double as fast. And I think the reverb is the same. Yeah. It's just the delay changes, and it's also less prominent. And that's it. And the amp changes to the red instead of the orange. That's the only thing that I changed in the lead. And there's a little theme delay part, which is again an arpeggio picked like this. Also a great picking exercise on its own. If you just play like, it's all alternate picking, you know. That's basically that little piece. And that plays in the tempo, so the delay is in the tempo of the song. So basically that. So there you go. That's the 4 presets that I use in my songs when I play live and do my live streams and everything that I do now here and nowadays here with YouTube. And you can see the sounds that I made are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There are some effects that I use here and there in some songs, and that's basically it. But the bottom line is really the biggest thing in my sound are the cabinet IRs. These are really the Ownhammer T75 and the V30s. These are bought IRs from Ownhammer, and I think they are in that rock box pack that I bought from them. Rock box, I think it's called. And yeah, they are fucking amazing. They sound really great. I mean, the Fractal itself has also pretty good ones. I mean, but yeah, I just want something different, so I buy my own that I like. And yeah, the rest is just standard Fractal functionality. So it is basically delay, reverb, enhancer, amp, and compression that I use on clean. And on rhythm tones and lead tones, it's an ambient and reverb. And yeah, okay, endless has also, but let me take the standard again. Then you see it. So the amp, the equalizer after it makes it a little bit heavier. So like this, that kind of tone. And then to a reverb and the cabinet. And the cabinet is in the rhythm sound, just a 75 watt speakers, because I like that kind of for the rhythm. Just my taste, to say it like that. And with the lead, it changes to the cabinet of the V30 in there. That gives a little bit more roundness in the leads. So that's what it does. And the amp changes. But for the rest, it's the same concept. As you can see, it's all the same preset that just have different scenes for each sound. Okay, I hope that gave you a little bit insight in how I created my my little effects in the FM9 and also for the Fractal XFX3, because I'm using that live with my FC12 board. But here in the studio I use my FM9, and that's great for the studio use. I can do everything with it, my recordings, all my lessons. I mean, it has several inputs, so I can connect my student. I can connect myself, and we have both a sound that is panned, you know, one on the left speaker, one on the right, and that functions really good also for teaching, so it's perfect. And everything just, I mean, I have a little external pedal board also connected a little bit with, there's a whammy on it, there's a freak out on it, and there's my wireless on it. And a little phaser pedal that is sometimes let me take the rhythm sound the other better. Phaser. Then here I can set my guitar lower. So the whammy DT, it has a little bit of extra things in there, and the freak out, which is I like, which gives a little bit of feedback, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, these effects I use externally, and that's it. And for the rest, is that my rig basically, also what I use live. And it is not, I mean, live I have then a power amp. I think that's a Matrix FX1000 that just gives enough power to my 4x12 Marshall cabinet with the mixed speakers in there, so the V30s and the T75. And basically that's it. So I'm really happy with that rig, and that sounds always every gig great, and it is just cool. And for my cover bands, I made special presets. So for the Art of Pantera, I created Pantera presets with an IR that sounds like Pantera. I made for System Pilot, a band that's more classic rock, I made different presets. Of course, for the Gary Moore tribute, I try to adapt the sound more to Gary Moore-ish. And of course, for Trash Attack, I use different amps instead to get more that trashy tone. But yeah, it is all with the same tool, so that's great. With Fractal World, you can really do a lot and make it really your own. So anyway, enjoy this video, and I hope it gives you some insight and what's possible in Fractal World. And I think you can do it with a lot of modelers nowadays about the same what I did here. So even if you have a different modeler, you know, you have a line 6, or you have a haute tone, or you have whatever you have, just try to experiment and yeah, just let this give you a little bit insight in how I create my my sounds through the modeler. So it doesn't matter if you use Fractal or you use different, you know, just explore and find your own voice in there. That's important, and not like sound like like anybody else, basically. So yeah, that's some advice here from an old fart like me. So thank you all for watching, and see you later. Bye bye. Maybe on a concert someday, have a beer or something. See ya. Bye bye.